Well, listeners, we have a very, very special guest on the show right now. One of the cinema events of this year that so many people have been looking forward to is the Sabaton film, which hits our screens here in Australia on October the 11th. Tickets are already on sale, but today we've actually got Pa from the band on the phone to chat a little bit about this amazing, the tour to end all tours film experience, cinema experience that is coming. So welcome to the show, Pa.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and good to talk to you. Hope everything is fine over there.
It is. Now, you've got a very, very hectic day today because you were telling me just before you're about to fly out to the US tonight, your time. But this cinematic experience, there are so many Australian fans that are excited about this. Tell us a little bit for you. How do you feel with this film premiering right around the world?
Very exciting. I mean, the whole idea starts, of course, when we were actually kind of rehearsing for the tour that we did last year, at the beginning of last year, when we did a tour for the album The War to End All Wars. And we were in England, where we had built up everything in a gigantic studio where we were doing the production rehearsals, and we saw how cool the show was, and we're like, we need to film this at some point, because it's a pretty big production. You know, we brought around 140 people from city to city around Europe for this. It was a pretty big thing, and we thought it was so cool and so nice to play it. So good songs, set list, everything was something. So we were like, it's a little bit sad that only this goes to Europe. Obviously, it's too big for us to transport this whole thing around the world. But we said, okay, we film it, and maybe we're gonna release something. And DVDs ain't really a big thing these days, so streaming services, of course, is the way to go. But we were starting to discuss with some people then about how can we bring it, and then cinemas is pretty cool, and we did it kind of different than many others, because we didn't go to a big distribution company who guarantees worldwide distribution for this. We went to like a small independent collaborations of indie cinemas in Sweden, basically. And they were like, oh, we're excited, let's show it only in Sweden, and we see what other countries we can get on. And then, since then, we've been working, everybody been working tirelessly to tie in more and more countries. And it's just growing and growing, and we did not expect it to be this big. Right now, as we are talking, I think it's like 750 cinemas who will show it, but we're about to add quite a lot more as well. So it's growing, and it's super exciting, and I can't wait to see the fans' reactions as well.
Even here in Australia, it is showing in so many cinemas. Normally when we get these concert events showing in cinemas here in Australia, it'll just be a few select cinemas in capital cities. But I was looking at the list before, and I think it's almost like 40, 50 cinemas that are showing it here in Australia as well. How important was that for you guys to get this into Australian cinemas for your Australian fans?
For us, it was a priority with Australia because of the we haven't been there so much to play, and we miss you guys.
Yeah.
And we wanted to share this with you guys, so it was priority. And it is not up to us how many cinemas will actually jump onto it. But we were very happy when the suggestions came, and the local distribution in Australia was coming back to us and saying like, hey, look, there's a big interest here, and we're getting more and more cinemas aboard. And I was like, yahoo! So with this, I'm happy now, and looking forward. I'm super excited as well, and we are using this a little bit to poke and pitch the people who book the concerts in Australia. Like, look at how many cinemas we're showing it in. Maybe you need to consider bringing Sabaton over a little bit more often.
Definitely, we would wholeheartedly agree with that. And I've had a sneak peek of the actual film too. I've had a chance to sit down and watch it. It looks amazing, but one of the things that really stood out to me was there was a very special reason why you guys chose Amsterdam as the city that it was filmed in. I was wondering if you could tell our listeners a little bit about why you chose the Ziggo Dome in Amsterdam as the venue for the filming of the film.
There's a couple of reasons. One of them is that it is until today the biggest headline show we've ever played, with 16,000 people sold out. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to record it. But also, the Ziggo Dome itself is a beautiful and very modern and great venue, allowing for very good opportunities to record it in very high quality and with good camera positions, and with everything there. We could also do the full show. We had a quite big production with us, and not all the venues, even though we were playing the biggest arenas indoors that exist in Europe, there were some of them who were not even big enough to fit our production, but this one could fit it all. So for these kind of reasons, we decided to record it there, and I'm super proud of it. And I think it looks great as well. I've been sitting down and with Jens, who's been editing it. I've been working closely with him on the editing of this, and I've seen it a lot of times, and I'm super proud of it.
It's amazing too when you guys do some of the slower songs that you guys are famous for as well, that the crowd's reaction with the mobile phone lights, that just adds some very, very special shots during this film.
Yeah, there's a moment in there when I ask all the people to take them up, and it's before we play the song Christmas Truce, and I think that it helps a lot to the atmosphere in that song. But I mean, it's like a concert is a collaboration between band and fans.
Yeah.
So we do our best, and the fans do also their best. And sometimes it's about them screaming or clapping their hands or jumping, or in some cases maybe not Sabaton that much, but Wall of Deaths or mosh pits or these kind of things. But it's a collaboration of creating an unforgettable evening. Yeah. And it's not just we do what we can, we do ours, but sometimes the audience is also participating to make it even better.
Yeah. One of the other reasons why Amsterdam felt so special as well was there's a story that's told during the film about the fact that I think it was when the band was about 6 years old, you played in Amsterdam, but you found it very hard to get a gig to start with, and then it was a very, very small crowd. So to be able to come back all those years later with 16,000 fans, what did that mean to you all as a band?
So it was a story I was telling, and it wasn't really Amsterdam that we played. It was a little bit outside in a place called Helmond, but very close there. And it was a story I told that night, and of course it's kind of similar story in every country, because Sabaton started small everywhere. So and we slowly become more and more popular. It's never been a jump or a out of nowhere quick success for the band. It's always been a slow progress, which I'm very proud of. I'm super happy because it's been organic. It's been done by us. We don't really, let's say, owe it to somebody else who just made Sabaton big overnight. It's something we did by playing for the fans, and slowly it got better and better. But yeah, it's a pretty funny the specific one in Amsterdam there, when it's the first headline show we ever had, we had one of these noise guards, and the sound limit was so low in there that even when our drummer was not even playing with amplifiers, he turned off the power in the venue, so he had to play super weak on the drums. And it's when you have a drummer who dreamed his whole life about sitting and playing as hard as he can on the drums and the headbanging and this, and then you have to tell him, can you play like very soft on the drums? It's like, how do you play when we have super fast double bass drum things, and how do I play soft? Well, I don't know, but you just have to play silent.
You mentioned before the set list as well, and as a huge Sabaton fan, I have to say, when I was watching the film, you covered all of the tracks that I love so much. I don't think there's going to be any fan that walks away from this cinema experience feeling like they haven't seen one of their favorite tracks. How important was that to you guys about having that perfect set list? Because it feels like the perfect set list.
I agree with you as well. For me, it also feels like the perfect Sabaton set list on that. I'm super proud of it. I mean, I think that we are usually, it's not a problem for Sabaton to create a good set list. We have a lot of songs that are fan favorites and these kind of things, and we can this. But here, it's like a roller coaster, up and down, very dynamic, and there is a part in the show where we play exclusively First World War songs. We got some actors in there. It looks and feels a little bit different. It takes the viewer on a little bit of a roller coaster in that. So there are not only fan favorites in that set list, but they fit very well together. So instead of just taking the top songs and playing them, which for some people would be a great set list, we have taken the songs that we think fits into this atmosphere of the show.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit slightly different way of thinking, but that's maybe why I also feel very emotional when I think about back to that show. I love that set list.
Yeah. What was it like for you on the night as well, knowing that it was being filmed? Because, of course, there would have been things that were different to a normal show for you. Like, were you aware of the cameras whizzing around and things during the actual show?
Nobody in the band really likes the idea of being recorded.
Yep.
Whenever you feel that camera is on, then you think about it, and then it's not that good. So we tuned it down for everybody in the band, and I was of course aware of it because I'm the one who ordered the recording of it, but the rest of the guys in the band, they were not really aware of what's gonna be like and anything. So. And we did film 2 more shows on the tour that we haven't edited together, but we've filmed them, and it's kind of the same. Like, okay, so some days there were the cameras, some days there wasn't, but just play the show as usual. That was the whole idea, and then because we didn't want this to be. We have done it in the past. We're like, okay, tonight we're gonna film and everything has to be perfect. Then people don't play perfect. So this time it was more like, don't bother. There's some cameras, some shows, and don't bother about it. Just play the show.
Yeah.
And that works out better for us.
You said that you've felt very emotional when you've watched the footage back. What has that experience been like for you, sitting down and watching such a special night in the life of the band?
I get so... I want to be on the stage so much. So lately, since that tour, Sabaton hasn't been really active. Okay, we did one... we played a tour with Judas Priest in America, and in a few hours I'm going to America to play the second part of that tour. So, but except for that, we pretty much haven't played since then. And for me, who loves being on stage, and for Sabaton, who has been very active band touring a lot in the past, it was kind of missing the stage so damn much, and then sitting and watching this, I'm like, I want to go on tour. But we needed to take a break. We needed to work on new music. So that's why we took a break. We have been pretty busy, even though we haven't been touring.
Definitely, and we're very thankful that you're working on new music. Now, I know we are running out of time very, very quickly for the interview, so I guess to finish off, what would you like to say to your Australian fans out there? The tickets are on sale now for them to be able to go and pre-purchase their tickets to go to the cinema. So what would you like to say to all of your Australian fans before they go out and grab tickets to these amazing shows?
I hope you're gonna all enjoy the movie, and then I hope that all of you will see Sabaton someday. We are working on new music, and with new music, we're also working on new tours, and of course, we have our eyes on you. So we miss you a lot, and we really wanna come back and play for you guys.